We're going to solve absolute value of x plus 6 is less than 20. What the key here is first to isolate the absolute value, but in this case it's already by itself. And then you want to say, okay, is this a less than problem or a greater than problem? It's a less than problem. That means that x plus 6 is closer to 0 than 20 units. The distance away from 0 is less than 20 units. It's squeezed between negative 20 and 20. Does that make sense? So the way that I would rewrite it is, instead of x plus 6 is less than 20, you're going to write it without the absolute value. X plus 6 is squeezed between negative 20 and 20. Okay, if you want to write it as two separate inequalities, which I don't want to do because it's a longer problem that way, but you could say, okay, x plus 6 is less than 20 and x plus 6 is greater than negative 20. It's just, the work is longer because then at the end you have more to do. So I'm going to go with the shorter version over here. You still have to get x by itself. Don't let it trip you up that there's 3 parts now instead of normally we only have 2. You just work on all 3 sides. So I'm going to subtract 6 to get x by itself. I subtract it on all 3 sides. Negative 20 minus 6 is negative 26 is less than x is less than 14. And you're basically done. Okay, we just have to write it in interval notation. What interval are we describing here? Interval A, good. The interval from negative 26 to 14. How do we know that it doesn't have brackets on it?
No equal to.
No equal to, that's right. Okay, any questions about that one? All right, at your desk, solve this one. You want to isolate the absolute value. Okay, so let's take a look. We have to isolate the absolute value first, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So we have 3 times the absolute value of x minus 4 plus 6 is greater than or equal to 15. Subtracting the 6, we have 3 times absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 9. Now, what's the operation between here? It's multiply. So we have to divide by 3 on both sides. So we're going to have absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 3. All right, so when we have greater than or equal to 3, remember what that means is that this number, whatever it is, it has a weird name, x minus 4, that's okay. Whatever it is, its distance from 0 is greater than 3. So it's either out here past 3, or x minus 4 might be over here to the left of negative 3. That's what that means. Whenever you have a greater than, you're talking about at the ends, so you have to write 2 separate inequalities. You say either x minus 4 is less than or equal to negative 3, or x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 3. Notice one of them is exactly what you had, just without the absolute value. The other one, both the inequality symbol and the sign have changed. Both the inequality symbol and the sign have changed. Okay, so we're going to solve by getting x by itself, adding 4. We have x less than or equal to positive 1, or x greater than or equal to 7. Let's draw a picture of that. Less than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to 7. Okay, or means union. You're going to unite the 2 sets. They don't overlap at all. So the only way to write that solution in interval notation is negative infinity to positive 1. Union what? Bracket 7 to infinity. So the answer would be D. Does everybody see where that answer came from? Okay. You cannot write, when you have a greater than situation, you cannot combine it into one inequality because what happens is that you have something weird. Look, if I put it together into one inequality, 3 is not less than negative 3. That's illogical. It doesn't make sense.
I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please remember to like it.